Welcome back, traders, to the channel. Today we're delving into Robinhood stock after its exceptional earnings and what this means for the stock over the next coming months. We'll be looking at key areas to buy, as well as some future price targets that I have on the company, as well as we'll be using the options flow to see how Wall Street is pricing these earnings and where the stock may be headed over the next couple of months. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let's begin here with the daily chart. The stock has been on an increased upside trend. We've been holding well above the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA, as well as the 90 EMA. And you guys know that I really like to see a stock with a heavy and nice upward trend to be holding the 90 EMA quite well, is this red line. The price action has pretty much followed the 90 EMA, and we've been seeing nothing but intense upside here on this name. Now, the stock is pretty overextended, right? But that doesn't mean we have to pull back immediately. We can still see further upside. So I still have the price targets here towards $124 here on Robinhood. That was my initial. If you guys saw my last video, that was the main price target that we have. And the second price target, where I believe some sellers will be found, is going to be here towards the $159 level, due to obviously some macro headwinds. Now, I believe that the buyers here have pretty much brought up the stock intensity. We've been seeing the volume as well increasing here. You guys see on the bottom part of the screen, we've seen on this uptrend the buying volume slowly starting to increase here and leading towards earnings, which is pretty much they had today. We saw an intense increase here in the volume spike here on this day when we broke above the all-time high. If we go towards the weekly chart, we see that that was a key level that we had to get out of, which was a pretty much resistance here on the IPO when the stock had it on August 2nd, 2021, which it reached a price all the way of $85 before it had this intense sell-off because Robinhood wasn't profitable yet. Now that the stock is seeing profitability and the company is seeing better management, the stock has recuperated and finally broke above this key area of supply here. So I'm expecting the stock to, obviously, if it does pull back, right, I'm not saying it will, but if it does pull back, some key levels to buy will be here around this $90 zone and $86.75 zone, which is where I believe that the buyers will be found and help sustain the upper momentum towards the price targets here of 124 or 159 if the stock does pull back. Now, we see continued momentum. I do expect the stock to still reach these price targets, or maybe pull back and find that last area of supply here towards 160, which is a very important psychological level. Now, for my swing traders and my short-term day traders, I have the exact setup here for you guys. So looking at a 1 hour chart here, we see the stock actually found support at around the 50 AMA and is now starting to curl up towards the upside. So I'm expecting here is at a break here above, pretty much marking a higher high. If you guys see this here, so let's say we draw a line, that's our resistance. We'd like to see the price action form this, break above, and then find some buyers here, hold that level, make some higher highs and higher lows, and instantiate the upper momentum now. Seeing that we broke above a higher high, and that would be obviously an imbalance. Sellers would be caught off guard, and the buyers would fully emerge, and these sellers that came in at this high would have to cover their positions, causing that double buying and seeing that intense acceleration towards the upside, now towards our price target of here on the short term here of 121 and 95 cents, around that zone, where obviously the sellers will find some resistance. Now, as well, looking here at the overall options flow, if we look at the chart here, we see that the expiration dates here for the call volume and the put volume, we see that the call volume is higher for the nearest expiration date, and we see this continuously all the way throughout the whole month of August until we see overall on the 19th of September, we see that the put volume is greater than the call volume. So during that date, I expect some near-term volatility and some sellers, kind of allowing the stock to kind of mitigate and be consolidative and not seeing further expansion, as we will start seeing some sellers cover, and we'll start seeing some overall more liquidity and volatility here on the name during that date, right around September 19th, 2025. So as well, now going towards the earnings, Robinhood had exceptional earnings here, which they beat. They had a reported of $989 million, almost $1 billion here of revenue, versus the estimate of Wall Street was around 914 2.55 million. Also, the EPS was a beat. And if we analyze this here year over year and kind of analyze the overall longer term trends, we see that there was a very big difference here compared to last year. If you look here on the overall daily chart here of the company, we see that during this time here, at the same time during last year on July, around the zone, we saw $682 million reported. Compare this now to $989 million, showing that the company is obviously bringing in more clients, being more of a head and a leader. And we also see the further expansion as well with the operating incomes becoming better, showing that the company is being more efficient and reducing their costs and overall doing their overall businesses here. So if you guys like this analysis, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. Give it a like. As well, if you like this analysis, feel free to let me know down in the comments what other ticker you guys are looking at and your price targets here on Robinhood. As always, stay uplifted and don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.